Hello and welcome back to Nerd Bytes. This week we are continuing our series of a few Nerd Bytes episodes on user management. Today we're talking about roles and access and how to give access to certain users in your accounts. You may remember from the previous episode that we created an authentication domain which we could add our users to. And when we went to add those users, we saw that there's no groups that they can be given access to. What this means is, yes, they'll be able to log into New Relic, but they'll be able to see absolutely nothing. They won't see any data, they won't be able to look at any of the management pages for the account, so they'll see nothing because we haven't given them access to see anything. So we need to create some roles, or use some of the existing roles to create those for this particular authentication domain. So back over in the organization and access settings, we can take a look at the roles that we have here. In this case, there are some standard roles that we could assign to these users, or we could create something entirely custom. If we went for something custom, I could call this my Nerd Bytes role, then I can allow or deny people to see certain things throughout the New Relic account. Maybe I only want people to be able to manage alerts, and so I can go through and I can start clicking to enable all of these features of alerts. And once we have all of that done, we can save this role, and that is now listed as a custom role here that we can start to assign to people. So we'll come back to groups, and we'll create a new group. We'll say this is our test domain, since that was the name of our authentication domain. And we'll call this alerts manager, something like that. And this is going against our test authentication domain. And we can pick the user role that we just created, which was Nerd Bytes, and which account do we want that to apply to. We can add access. So now we've got a new group available here. That is a group that we can assign to users, which will give them the roles that we have defined in that Nerd Bytes role. So back over here in the user management page, if I refresh this, we should now have a group that we can add that user to. So now they will be able to log in, and they'll be able to go and have a look at alerts and take care of those alerts for us. You can create as many groups as you want, and as you add those groups, you can add multiple to a particular user. So if we come over here and we try something similar again, let's try create something completely new this time, and we'll say new group. We'll go for that test domain again. We'll select the all product admin this time, and we'll apply it to that same account. Now over here, we should have two groups that we can add this user to. So if we refresh, we'll see two groups, and we can add that and keep on adding more to basically layer the levels of permissions that we're giving people to allow for them to see what they need to see, to interact with what they need to interact, and to restrict them from things that they don't necessarily need to worry about. That's it for now. Come back for more on Nerd Bytes very, very soon.